Ha! Good morning, good Monday morning, yes? We find that kind of fun, you know, in your world. You give different values to differing days or different predetermined thoughts, yes? And so good Monday morning, we feel drudgery, yes? Or maybe, yay, brand new day, let's go create a week, yes? Depends on what your thought process is, yes? Or what you've applied to the idea. So today we want to tell you a little story. And then we're going to talk with you about something you can do that might really assist you with just feeling more of your happiness, yes? Because we see humans delaying their happiness. We see humans confusing themselves about happiness. We see humans doing all sorts of things around, you know, what is happiness? And as what we can see in your vibrational flow is there's this sense or this flow or this feeling, this, what would you call it, a float, perhaps that is happiness, when you feel calm, when you feel, you know, smooth, yes? Or maybe sometimes very excited, yes? So today we would like to talk about what we call your done point, yes? Now this is something we've talked about long ago, and we're going to tell you a little story about this one that we come through, this Jackie, yes? That had us looking at that, and we wish to share it with you because, you know, we are seeing some of our friends struggling a little bit, and struggle is just so unnecessary, yes? Struggle has against energy in it, and against energy never really nourishes you, yes? So, your done point. What is that, Mary? What is a done point? Yes? So here's our story. So this one and her mate, you know, our friend Donald, yes, they would get their long boats, yes, their kayaks, yes, their long boats, and they would put them on the car. They would decide, we're going to go and be on the water in our boats today, yes? And they would get all their gear together, and they would put their boats on top of the car, and they would decide they're going to go out into, you know, the beauty of nature and float on the water. So they would go and they would put their boats in the water, and they would paddle, and they would have a, you know, a wonderful day, yes? And then they would decide it was time, you know, to, you know, go on to the next thing, yes? So they would paddle their boats into the shore. And this one would find herself getting, you know, she would have a blissful time, she would enjoy herself, she would think it was great. And then once she was at the shore, though, she would feel her energy getting tight. Yes, like tight, we call it frustration, we believe, yes? and irritation, or some of those wonderful catalyst aspects of yours. And then by the time, then she would kind of go through it and get the boat out of the water and get the boat back up onto the car and take off all her fun shoes she wears in the water and such, and, you know, get everything strapped down, and then they would get in the car, and she would be okay. So then they would get home, and guess what? There are boats on top of the car, yes? So the boats can't stay on top of the car, so now you have to take the boats off of the car, and you have to put them back in their spot in the garage, yes? So she would find herself again, yes? So we began speaking with her about, you're a little confused about where your done point is. And so our encouragement to her, if she wished to stay in her happiness, in that contented place that, you know, drives more energy and anticipation and opening and, you know, space to enjoy all the moments of the day, that if she would just move out her mental or emotional, you know, the energetic or vibrational idea of where is the done point. Well, the done point isn't when you get back to the shore. The done point is when you excitedly put your boats back in the garage in their spot for the next time you get to go and play, yes? So when she enacted that, then everything changed for her. She came to the shore. She made, getting the boat back together. She was still connected to the earth. She was still connected to herself. She was still connected to the water and the boat and the pleasure of what they were doing. And even, putting the kayak, moving with her mate to, put the kayaks back on top of the car. And you can even be excited. You have this car, you can put these kayaks on, and you have these kayaks, and you can drive across town with them on the roof of your car, and you pull up in your driveway, and they have this spot. And you get to keep celebrating that what you've been exchanging with and what's been exchanging with you. And it doesn't start and stop. It is this continuation. And so then you can put the kayaks back where they are, and maybe even, give a little kiss, smooch mark on them, or thanks, thank you, and let's play again. Yes? And it shifted for her whole experience of going kayaking. Yes? Or doing anything. Because it isn't only, of course, for kayaking. It's for anything. And, we will say that the reason why, it popped up in us to share this again with your world today is, Jackie's eyes were looking across the Facebook that we get to play on, yes? And she saw somebody saying, hey, who's going to come, take care of putting away all of the stuff that I got out to go do this, this thing that I did this weekend. And we felt, oh, there's that same mark that has the ability to have against energy in it that can divide you from your happiness. And so, we looked at that, we went, oh, set your done point out farther, that's all. And so it just, oh, my done point is when I've now retouched everything that I, moved with this weekend. And this particular experience was somebody who had done some work with a retreat or something on the weekend that they helped to provide. And so, let it be, let yourself embrace that putting away of the items. Let it embrace the experience, and you get to retouch it all in the memory cells. And let it also be an activator, perhaps, of your inspiration of what the experience touched in you and what you might do with it, where you might take it. So instead of jumping ahead, sometimes we see people go, oh, that was great, now I want to, but first I have to deal with this burden of taking care of these details. Yes? Bring every moment of your experience, no matter what it is, that you are moving through and to and from and so on, into that continuous. And let the putting away of the items, let them bring you the gift that they have offered. That practice bring you the gift that it has to offer, and let yourself bring yourself the gift that you have to offer. So whether you've gone out to have some pleasure and now you need to put your toys away, yes, or you've gone out and done some work and you get to now put these pieces that you pulled together to assist you with, providing your piece in the puzzle. Set that done point out. What it does is it shifts the chemicals, it shifts the informing and the messaging in the awareness system so that you're with you in all that you're doing. I'm with me in the planning, in the creating, in the activating, in the experiencing, and in the, disassembling or the, putting it away or bringing it forward, whatever it is. It shifts that in your practice of self and in your practice with creating in life that brings your happiness into the scenario or into the picture to be part of what you're experiencing. So the happiness doesn't stop at the shore, and the happiness doesn't stop when the event is over. Take the stop out of your happiness. Bring that done point, and we can hear somebody say, well, Mary, isn't, if you have a done point somewhere, isn't there a stop? Well, what we're talking about with done, again, it's continuous. So when Jackie put the kayaks back on the garage wall, it doesn't mean that's it. It doesn't even mean that's it for this experience, because that experience is continuing to generate inside of it. It just means, this has some completion. It has this completion, this restful place. for the birthing of the next possibility, and it's part of the soil then that creates you forward. So that is our happiness hint for today on your Monday. Whether you find it a yay raw Monday day or you find it a get through another, we really encourage you to find every moment a yay raw moment, and yet bring yourself forward. Set that done point out further to include everything you're aware of, and also to include those seeds you'll be planting for your next experience. Have a wonderful day and week and moment. Be well, friends. Our love for you is all.